We can start in that case. No problem.
It's 1 minute. Just it is 8 minutes. I think. Okay. 3:10. We can start 3:10. 1 or 2 minutes. We can.
Okay. Just 2 minutes in.
Okay, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
perfect.
Thank you, Divya.
So it is a really right time to start now.
Yeah.
Okay. Respected ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and participants, a very warm welcome to the valedictory function of the lecture series of Satellite Meteorology, organized by the South Asian Meteorological Association and Birla Institute of Technology, BIT Mesra. I am Dr. Mohan Kumar Das, Joint Secretary of SAMA. It is my great privilege to guide you through this concluding ceremony. Your presence here today signifies the importance of collaboration and knowledge sharing in advancing our understanding satellite meteorology. Now, without further delay, let's begin this ceremony by inviting Dr. Someshwar Das, Secretary of South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA, to officially welcome our chief guest, member of the advisory panel, and all the participants to these valedictory functions. Dr. Someshwar Das, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan. The chief guest of today's function, Dr. Prakash Chauhan, Director of the National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad. ABM retired Professor Ajit Tyagi Saab, President of SAMA. Dr. R.C. Bhatia, Chairman of the Advisory Panel of the Lecture Series. Dr. Kelkar Sahab, who has been a guiding force in organizing and conducting this lecture series on satellite meteorology. Distinguished members of the Executive Council and Advisory Panel of SAMA, those who are present here. Our colleagues, members of the ECT, Executive Coordination Team of SAMA, and all the dear participants, I welcome you on behalf of the South Asian Meteorological Association to this valedictory function of the 5 months long lecture series on satellite meteorology, which is jointly conducted by SAMA and the BIT Mesra. I'm happy that today is a very auspicious occasion, as many of you know, is called Baisakhi in Punjab, celebrated with very happiness, and also in Nepal it is the first day of the year. It is the first day of the year in Nepal, the first Baisakh. So it's a very auspicious day. We are concluding this satellite meteorology lecture series. I'm also happy that we started this lecture series 5 months ago with the presence of Dr. Kelkar Saab and Dr. Raj Kumar, the former director of the NRSC. And today we are concluding with the present director of the NRSC, Dr. Prakash Chauhan Saab. Well, details about this lecture series will be explained by Dr. Swagata and Dr. Lakshmi Kumar. But I can just tell you briefly that we had a very overwhelming response to this course. We had registrations of more than 1,800 people from 59 countries. It is a tremendous response. And many of the participants whom we have met personally, as well as they have interacted through us, they are so satisfied and very happy to join this lecture series. In fact, many of them, they say that they knew nothing. I mean, even those who were not knowing anything about the meteorology, they learned a lot by attending this course. So this is a very, very satisfying things to us, especially as you know, we have been conducting all the activities, including this online lecture series, totally free of cost as a service to the meteorological community. And also, as many of you know, that the Satellite Meteorology lecture series was the third training program conducted by SAMA. The first one was a 4 months long lecture series on atmospheric physics conducted jointly with the SRM University and SAMA. The second one was a training series on WRF modeling system, which was conducted jointly with the CDAC, that is the Center for Development of Advanced Computing in India. And the satellite meteorology was the third one. And I'm so happy to tell you that certainly next month we are going to start our fourth training program for capacity building of the people of this region on radar meteorology. And that is being organized jointly with SAMA and the ACAR, that is Advanced Center for Atmospheric Radar Research at Cochin University of Science and Technology, India. So with this few words, I would like to welcome you once again, and on to you, Mohan, Dr. Mohan.
Thank you, Dr. Shamsuddar sir, for your warm welcome and setting the stage. Now it is our great honor and privilege to request Air Vice Marshal retired Professor Dr. Ajit Tyagi sir to give his opening speech. Dr. Tyagi sir, please.
Thank you, Mohan. Sorry, my
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
there are multiple.
Hello. Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Just a minute, just a minute.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry
Perfect,
for multiple systems having we put on, so it is giving echo. I join Somesh for welcoming our distinguished chief guest and also the presence of Dr. Kelkar and Bhatia Saab. In fact, the Satellite Met program in the country had been a success story of close coordination between two agencies, India Met Department and the ISRO. And the presence of these stalwarts shows their support to the Satellite Meteorological program organized by SAMA. We were fortunate that it started with a keynote address by Kelkar Saab and Dr. Rajkumar, and now is culminating in their presence of Kelkar Saab and also Dr. Prakash Chauhan, who had been closely associated with these programs, both at SAC, then IRS, and now at the NRSC. For us in SAMA, this has been full support from all ISRO institutions, the SAC, IRS, and NRSC, where we had the resource person, and same is with the IMED and CMRWF and IITM. So we feel very happy. You see, as a forecaster, prior to the satellite era, I think it used to be nightmare when observations from the oceans, mountainous areas of the Central Asia. There used to be few synoptic observations, and we have to do the job of providing forecasts. Being in the Air Force, the aviation forecast was challenged or Himalayas or the oceans. But with the advent of the weather satellites, initially with the APT transmission in 60s, and thereafter in 1980s with our own INSAT, it has really revolutionized weather observations and their use in the weather forecasting, warnings, and services. The need for capacity building in satellite meteorology, particularly in the neighboring countries, was felt. We did have a feedback and survey, and based on that, we developed this training program with the Bhatia Saab being the chairman and the partners being the baby Simon, Thaplial, Mitra from IMIT and many others. So we could develop a good lecture program which was well received by the participants. And I'm happy that we are concluding this session successfully. Detailed report will be brought out by the Professor Swagata. We had good about people who are appearing in exams and successfully completed. They will be receiving the certificates. So once again, the support which we received from the MOS institutions and the ISRO institutions has been overwhelming, and that had led to the success of this particular training program. So once again, thank you to our chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan, who on short notice has agreed to deliver a keynote address of Kelkar Saab, whose blessings to SAMA will cherish for a long time. We continue to look forward. As suggested by him, we positively will try to develop a program of 150 years of the IMED. We did sound to the DG IMED about this, so let me take it forward. Otherwise, we'll do it of our own through our sister associations in the South Asian countries. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable President of SAMA, to setting the tone of the proceeding. It is our great honor you are with us. Now it is time to know the report of the lecture series and summary of the participant feedbacks. So I would like to request Dr. Swagata Paida, who is the convener of the event and also the Associate Professor of BIT Mesra and Treasurer of SAMA, along with Dr. Lakshmi Kumar TV, who is also the Associate Professor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, India, and Joint Secretary of SAMA India chapter. I would like to request both of them to present the participants' feedback as well as the report of the lecture series. Both of you are welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dr. Mohan. So now I'm sharing the slide. In the process of sharing the slide, I would like to thank our president and secretary. They have worked like a spinal cord of any systems. Thanks, Dr. Chauhan sir, for agreeing so quickly because I think I have put the invitation on Monday and on Tuesday we have finalized the decision. Thank you, Kelkar sir, Bhatia sir, or all others who are present here. So our inaugural session was started. Let's put it in F5. Started with the presence of Kelkar sir, Dr. Rajkumar Sharma sir, Bhatia sir was there, or of course our president and secretary, along with our dean, Professor C. Jagannathan sir. My slide is visible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there are 15 speakers who are there, including Kelkar sir, Rajkumar Sharma sir, Bhatia sir, Dr. Atul Kumar Bharma, Dr. Baby Simon, Dr. Bipasa Paul Shukla, Dr. Pradeep Thablial. Thablial sir is also present here. Dr. Suchita Srivastav, Ms. Shivani Shah, Dr. Asim Mitra, he is also present now. Dr. Randir Singh, Chinmay Kharke, Shivin Balakrishnan, Mrs. C. Jayashree, and the last one is P. Mohesh. The total registration, I could say, took more than 1,800. The specific number is 1,824 for 59 countries, which is specially we have plotted. So we can see it. And finally, around 400 members were allowed to give the exam due to that attendance criteria. Out of those 400, 319 participants has appeared in the assessment. 7 participants secured the outstanding grades. 35 participants secured the excellent grades. 142 participants secured the very good grades. And 75 participants are passed. So they are giving the good grades in the assessment. This is the pie diagram of those registered candidates. So we can see that postgraduate candidates students are more. So young students are, the young generations are more. So that's one of the good part which we felt very strongly. And apart from that, I would like to mention few things. When we are conducting this type of meeting, I was getting email from every part of the world. This is one email from Iran. So in one time we put the who has attended the meeting, the last meeting. So somehow it was missed. So he mailed us that, okay, I was there, even I put my attendance, how it is missed. So we agreed that, and after checking that, and then and this is the curiosity of our program, I could say. Few of them also emailed that on the specific date, they are not able to give the exam. So if we can arrange re-exam for any other day, here I am putting Nayana GS. There are another part which I really love to see actually. That day there was a major internet outrages. BBC and all big channel was showing, and we received a huge number from that African countries that this issue made their to lose the exam. I took their name. Maybe I'll share the appreciation certificate to them. But their motivation, their dedication to the course really felt to me great as a convener of this program. I think the next slide, I would like that Dr. Lakshmi, if you can continue.
Yeah, thank you, Swagata. I hope you are able to hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So good afternoon to one and all present here. So after listening to the Dr. Swagata's feedback, I can say one thing, that the South Asian Meteorological Association, which was established mainly to serve the South Asian countries. So after this lecture series, it is serving the entire world. So this is really very great, happy to me and also for other members of the SAMA, so that we are becoming a part of the SAMA. Now, after seeing this feedback, I can say that, as Swagata already mentioned, that most of the participants attended are from age groups from 20 to 30, which means that they are studying either post-graduation or PhD doctoral studies. So it is really tells the interest of the participants, and also the future of the association also. Then we have collected the feedback based on the different aspects after conducting all these lectures for the 4 months. Like we have collected feedbacks on the points such as the quality of the lectures and understanding and interaction of the lectures and other things. And we could see that most are like 80 to 90% of the people participants have agreed that the quality of the lectures as well as the understanding level and interest and the interaction is more than 4 and 5. So here you can see that 3, 4, 5 means in the slide, the 5 is for outstanding, like excellent and outstanding, and 4 is very good. It is like that. So we could see that on all the slides. If you just go through these slides, like 80 to 90% of the student, of the participants, basically, they have given outstanding and very good, excellent grades for the lectures. It shows the quality of the lecture and the way how these lectures are being organized and how these lectures have been reached to the participants. Really, this feedback figures show us, and we are extremely happy with this feedback, and it gives a lot of encouragement for us to further to take the further steps in SAMA, to go for further lecture series in the fundamental as well as the advanced courses. So with this, I'll stop. Talking about the feedback, and I really congratulate the ECT members of the SAMA and advisory panel of the SAMA and the experts of the lecture series once again. So thank you one and all. And I congratulate all the participants who got the grade in the exam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Dr. Mohan, I need 1-2 minutes more just to share one of email. Let's say share. I don't know if it is possible or not. Okay, yeah, I found it. So these are the few questions. What suggestion do you have improving future lecture programs? So in general, we found that it is very good lecture series program. Many lectures are useful. The only drawback they mentioned that if there is a physical practice is possible or not. So which is one of the big constant. So apart from that, which response we have received, those are really very nice. And also we received that which course they want. So we could see that radar meteorology, weather forecast, all these things, radar meteorology already in plan, weather forecast, WRF WRF training we have already done. So in that sense, I could finish now sharing the slide. And I thanks everyone for this nice, to help me for this nice program.
Thank you so much for both of your comprehensive presentation and to see the impact of the lecture series not within a South Asian countries. It is among the many countries of the world. So it is really, really very captivating and very fascinating. With this, now I would like to request Dr. Rohini Bhawar from Savitribhai Phule Pune University, Pune, India, and she is also the institute member of SAMA, to introduce our honorable chief guest. Rohini, please.
So it's my pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Mohan. It's my pleasure to introduce the director, National Remote Sensing Center, and Dr. Prakash Mohan.
Rohini, your voice is not clear.
Yeah, Rohini, your voice is not coming.
Is it there? Okay.
Still it is struggling.
Now, can you hear me?
Little better.
Little
Yeah.
better.
Okay, I'll talk a little louder.
Thank you.
So it's my pleasure to introduce the Director, National Remote Sensing Center, NRSC Hyderabad, Dr. Prakash Mohan. He has obtained his postgraduate degree in Applied Geophysics from University of Roorkee, which is now Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, and PhD in Physics from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. And prior to joining NRSC Hyderabad, he was the director at the Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, IIRS, Dehradun, in April 2018. He joined the ISRO in 1991 at Space Application Center, Ahmedabad, as scientist, and since then working for the applications of space technology, including remote sensing technology for geosciences, atmospheric and oceanic process studies, natural resources management for ocean and land resources. He also initiated research activities for planetary remote sensing at SAT to study solar system objects, mainly Earth's moon and Mars, to Indian planetary missions. He has also served as Group Director at SAT Ahmedabad for Biological and Planetary Sciences Group during 2014 and 18. His major achievements are in the area of Earth observation applications, including development of algorithms for ocean color parameter retrieval, marine living resource assessment, erosion remote sensing for space-based air quality monitoring, river and reservoir water level estimation using space-borne altimeters, and coastal zone management. More recently, he has been working to use satellite remote sensing data for understanding the climate response of Himalayan cryosphere and air quality assessment for space. He has done or led work in using the high-speed spectral satellite data for Indian planetary missions such as Chandrayaan-2 and Chandrayaan-1 for lunar surface composition mapping. He has been the principal investigator for infrared imaging spectrometer, which is IIRS instrument on board the Chandrayaan-2 mission. He also led a team of scientists for scientific analysis of data from Mars orbit mission and more instruments. More recently, his work on Chandrayaan-2, that is the IIRS spectrometer data, has resulted in unambiguous detection of water and OH on the surface of the moon. His findings have conclusively established presence of water molecules at different locations on the moon. As director of IIRS Dehradun, he has spearheaded activities for research and capacity building in the fields of applications of remote sensing and informatics technology for societal applications in India. He is actively providing guidance and support for international organizations like the Center for Space Science and Technology in Asia and the Pacific, that is CSSPEAP, in conducting space technology research for Earth system science. As project director of ISRO, DMS, Advanced Techniques and Capacity Building, he coordinated international charter activities to provide remote sensing inputs for disaster management. As director of UN Affiliated Center, he has significantly contributed towards capacity building for space applications in Asia and the Pacific region, along with UN OSCE. New innovative digital learning platforms such as MOOC and online courses are introduced to continue the PSSP activities, of course, despite the COVID pandemic. He is currently serving as chair of the working group of school at SPSC of UN Purpose. He has also served as chair for CEO's working group on capacity building and data democracy for the year 2018-19. He is executive member of International Ocean Color Coordination Group and representing ISRO. He has also represented ISRO at CEO's as co-chair for Ocean Color Virtual Exhibition. He had also been member of previous NASA Science Working. Just giving some awards, information about some awards. Awarded the prestigious Professor P.R. Pisharoti Memorial Award for the year 2004 by Indian Society of Remote Sensing. Hari Om Ashram Credit Dr. Vikram Sarabhai Research Award by PRI, Ahmedabad in 2009. ISRO Merit Award by Indian Space Research Organization in 2010 and Satish Dhawan Award by ISRS Dehradun in 2016. He has been confirmed with the 2023 Asia Pacific Region Excellence in Space Award on 22nd September 2023 during the award ceremony of 29th session of Asia Pacific Regional Space Agency organized in Jakarta, Indonesia. He has published more than 150 peer-reviewed papers in national and international journals, and he is currently fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, Indian Society of Remote Sensing, and Indian Social Science. Thank you very much, sir, for raising this proposal. Over to you, Dr. Mohan.
Thank you, Rohini Bhawar, for your very nice and very fascinating and gracious introduction. Now it is time to hear from our honorable chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan. He is the Director of National Remote Sensing Agency, NRSC, and Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, Hyderabad, India. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you very much to South Asian Institution for Meteorological, South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA, as well as to BITS Mesra and all the organizing team for inviting me to share my views on this valedictory program of the weekly online lecture series on satellite meteorology, which has been running, I think, since September. A very good afternoon to each one of you. And first and foremost, I would like to, do namaskar to all our seniors, Professor R.R. Kelkar Sahab, Dr. Rajit Tyagi ji, Dr. Bhatia ji, all my colleagues, Professor Someshwar Das ji, and Dr. Swagata ji, a lot of colleagues I can see from Space Application Center, IMD, and of course, many colleagues, those who are joined from our neighboring South Asian countries. Very warm welcome to each one of you, and greetings from Hyderabad from National Remote Sensing Center on this afternoon. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA, and BITS Mesra for this wonderful initiative, where you have run this online lecture series as part of a broader capacity building activity in South Asian region as far as the subject of satellite meteorology is concerned. I can fondly recall, my association with United Nations Center for Space Science and Technology Education in Asia Pacific, or CSSTAP, where we were, providing short-term, long-term capacity building programs for various participants from Asia and Pacific region on the broad aspects of satellite remote sensing and satellite meteorology for socio-economic developments in our neighborhood. So in that context, I feel that this is a wonderful initiative which has been taken by SAMA and of course BITS Mesra to propagate and to develop capacity in our neighborhood as far as the use of satellite meteorology for weather forecasting purposes is concerned. And I could see from the report which was just presented by the organizing secretary of the program, it has been a very wonderful program which has large amount of participation. almost participants from 59 countries, where registration was around 1800 or so, and 320 odd participants have also successfully, completed the assessment process. That tells the kind of reach this program has had. And this was possible because of the kind of resource persons which were involved, all the stalwarts of satellite meteorology, the younger generation and the current lot. I could see a very well mixed, representation of the resource person in this program. So I feel very happy to be associated at this valedictory function to share some of my thoughts as far as the subject of satellite meteorology and the future roadmap from the Indian context, which also is likely to be very useful for all our South Asian countries, because especially all our meteorological satellites, which are especially in the geostationary orbits, not only they provide data over Indian territory, but it covers, the geographical territories of all our South Asian region. So I say that this is a kind of a common asset which can be utilized for doing all satellite meteorological weather forecast operations, research activities in academic institutions, as well as understanding the broader aspects of atmospheric dynamics, climatic variability, and the extreme events, which basically are getting, more and more, the frequency is rising because of the climate vulnerabilities which our region is facing at large. Now, friends, as Professor Kelkar told, and Professor Ajit Tyagi has also just told that, any weather forecaster, depends on large amount of data for, doing the forecasting purpose. The forecasting is a business where without data, you cannot do forecasting, especially for dynamic phenomena like atmospheric and the weather forecast purposes. We have had a history. IMD is just celebrating 150 years of its existence, a combined history in South Asian region for collecting, meteorological observations from ground-based platforms. However, a large effort by IMD has been done in terms of collecting the in situ measurements over the land territory and other meteorological, agencies in this region. But the fact remains that the geographical area is so vast. India is called a subcontinent. And of course, we have a large amount of ocean which surrounds this region, which basically remains the data sparse region. And many of you as meteorologists know that ocean plays a very important role as far as the coupled ocean atmospheric processes and modulating the weather and the climate of a particular region. So in that context, the satellite observations are very, very useful. Indian Space Research Organization, along with India Meteorological Department, started, way back in 1983, the INSAT series of operations. Before that, large amount of experimental satellites were flown for conducting various experiments. But the operational aspect of satellite meteorology in India started way back from in 83 or so with the INSAT-1 program. And then we had those days only 2 channels, one in the visible and in the IR at courses spatial resolution. And then subsequently we had advanced series of meteorological satellites, INSAT-2 series of satellites. INSAT-2E had, apart from VHRR sensors, it also has a charge coupled device, CCD, high resolution multispectral imaging sensor, which was providing wonderful images in different wavelengths of electromagnetic spectrum, and was also being used apart from weather forecasting for assessing the land resources. And then, of course, the turnaround came with the INSAT-3 series of satellites. And of course, Kalpana-1 was another satellite which also was there for providing the meteorological services. But if we talk of more recent past, basically in 2013, the advanced series of meteorological satellite called INSAT-3D was launched, which has these 2 wonderful sensors which were developed at Space Application Center, the 6-channel imager, and of course the 19-channel sounder. So these 2 observation platforms, imager and sounder, has really proven to be a game changer as far as the meteorological observation over South Asian region or the Indian subcontinent region are concerned. Using the 6-channel imager data from visible to thermal infrared, we were able to capture various atmospheric processes, we could capture the cloud top temperature, we could get the humidity using the SWIR band and the visible band. Cloud microphysics could be characterized, and basically the visible data was also converted subsequently to estimate the aerosol optical thickness, or the air quality measurements were also possible using these INSAT 3D imager data sets. Of course, the INSAT 3D, the sounder observations were also very unique in terms of providing very high resolution, the vertical distribution of humidity and the temperature profiles. However, they were at coarser resolution, and then, as you all aware, the IR sensor suffers, because of this presence of clouds. So at certain locations where cloud cover is there, successful retrievals could not be done. However, this is the limitation of the technology, which could be overcome by utilizing the microwave wavelengths of electromagnetic spectrum. But subsequently, the INSAT 3D-R was also launched in 2016. So as many of you are aware that weather is a very dynamic phenomena, not only spatial coverage or spatial resolution, but the temporal resolution also makes a very important role to assimilate these data sets into weather forecast models. So now by combining these two satellites, INSAT 3D and INSAT 3D-R, today we have a capability of providing, the weather pattern imaging systems, and then the entire suite of geophysical parameters, roughly 23 geophysical parameters, they are coming from INSAT 3D and INSAT 3D-R, almost at 15 minutes interval process. So this is a wonderful imaging system which is there in place at geostationary orbit. And last, the second month of this year, in February of 2024, we have now launched the new, or it's not a new, sensor sets of sensor, but the similar, capability satellite INSAT 3D-S has been launched, basically to replace the aging INSAT 3D. So currently there are three meteorological satellites from India, which are operating from geostationary orbit. Of course, the INSAT 3D-S is still in the IoT, or what we call the in-orbit testing phase. And you will see that very soon the data from the INSAT 3D-S sensor will also be released to the user community. And then that will be a very unique, combination where we can now have more than 15 minutes interval of weather operations or weather observations from these three satellites. Still, INSAT 3D is not decommissioned. Apart from this, the data over the oceans is also very important. So ISRO has not only been, providing these meteorological observations from geostationary satellites, but we are also, pretty active in terms of our polar satellite capabilities to provide various parameters, from the low Earth orbiting satellite systems. The Megatropics was the first example, which was exclusively launched with the French Space Agency to characterize, the mega means in the clouds. So different, frequencies, especially in the microwave, imaging capabilities and microwave humidity sounders in the form of SAFIR was in place, and large amount of data utilization of this microwave sounding capability has substantially proven that how important these observations were for improving the weather forecast conditions. Apart from that, we have also launched, the ocean series of satellites since 1999 onwards. They had, of course, the ocean color imaging satellite, which provides you information about the ocean color or the ocean biological parameters. But it also gives you an additional advantage in terms of providing observations on aerosols. So aerosol and cloud interaction is also a very important research theme for various meteorological, or the atmospheric scientists, so that they can understand the variability or the albedo changes and the, the weather pattern formation in response to the increasing dust load or the increasing aerosol load in the atmosphere. Because especially in the southern region or in our region, the aerosols in the lower atmosphere also plays a very key and important role for augmenting the radiative transfer, in the upper, in the middle and the lower atmosphere. Apart from this, we also had a wind observation capability platform. As you are, all of you as meteorologists are very well aware that wind is the most important, parameter as far as the weather forecasters are concerned. So if not on land, today we had the capability to derive wind vector using our scatterometer series of satellites over oceans. So it all started with OceanSat 2 scatterometer, and then we had a SCATSat-1, and now on our OceanSat-3 platform, which was launched in 2023, we are providing very high resolution, very high quality, the wind vector information, which is very successfully getting, assimilated at our National Weather Forecasting Center at NCMR-WF for operational uses. And not only in India, this data is being, collected over the entire globe, because OceanSat-3 is a global mission. So we are observing, every 2 days, the global wind vectors are basically getting generated using our OceanSat-3 series of satellites, and it's getting in near real time, almost within 3 hours, we are able to provide these wind vectors to all the meteorological agencies in the world, including NOAA and European Center for Weather Forecasting, ECMR-WF, and of course our own NCMR-WF for operational assimilation into the weather forecast models. Apart from this, SCAT data is also very important in understanding the cyclogenesis process. So 5 days in advance, we are able to pick early signatures of cyclone in Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, or for that matter in any seas or any oceanic areas across the globe. And then combined with our meteorological geostationary capability, this data goes into the cyclone forecast systems also. And today, I am very happy to say, and all of you must be proud of the fact that India has one of the most advanced early warning system for cyclone forecasting. Our capability to very precisely pinpoint the landfall location within plus minus 20 kilometers, and to also forecast the precise velocity of the wind by which the cyclone is going to struck the coastline is unprecedented and one of the best in the world, and which is saving large amount of lives in the coastal areas of South Asian regions. So that's the kind of capability today it exists as far as the meteorological observations are concerned. But these are all the things which we have already achieved. But as you know, we still need to do large amount of things, and newer technologies are required to be developed for augmenting the observational gaps which are still there. One of the key observational gap which is of concern to various meteorologists is to provide the wind information over the land territories. Oceans we are capable to do by scatterometers, but today the technologies like Doppler wind lidars, which has already been proven by European Space Agency, using the atmospheric particles, and by combining this by laser technology, the Doppler shift which is created by the aerosol particles in the reflected laser pulses can precisely be used to estimate the wind vector over the land region. And this technology is a very advanced technology, and I think we need to develop such sensors for operational meteorology to provide wind profile over the land region. So that is one critical gap area. I think in ISRO we have already started thinking about this, and advanced R&D work is likely to start in the LiDAR observations as far as the meteorological processes are concerned. The second most important aspect, that the current INSAT series of satellites are basically functioning in imager and sounder mode, but we need to think now for 4th generation of INSAT satellite. And I'm very happy to inform this August gathering that very recently the 4th generation of INSAT satellite series of sensor configuration has been approved by Ministry of Earth Sciences, and now the requirement is being provided to Indian Space Research Organization to develop the next generation of INSAT series of satellite. Essentially, that will means that we will have hyperspectral imaging capability from geostationary platform, so that large amount of atmospheric phenomena can be captured. So this will be basically similar to the GOES-R, the imagers which are operating on the American part of the hemisphere, and sensors like advanced baseline imager, which will have multiple visible bands, multiple IR bands, and then large number of infrared, the far infrared channels will be available in hyperspectral capability from geostationary orbit, will be the main feature for the 4th generation of INSAT series of satellites. Another, major concern today is the advent of extreme rainfall events. So the nowcasting is also a very important area, and many of you must have heard that a lot more is required to be done as far as understanding and forecasting of the cloudburst kind of events in Himalayan systems. So for that, to improve the nowcasting capabilities, we also develop now, methods and advanced algorithms using machine learning approaches, using AI, ML, and various other techniques are required, which basically can be utilized for providing a very accurate nowcast for these extreme weather event conditions. Another important aspect as far as the meteorological disasters is concerned is the lightning. In fact, the largest number of casualties today, if we see in our region, are happening because of the lightning disasters. It's not because of floods, it's not because of earthquake, it's not because of tsunami, but the maximum number of casualties are happening because of lightning. NRSC has installed a ground-based, lightning detector network. Around 40 lightning detector networks across country have been installed by National Remote Sensing Center. IITM Pune has also the similar kind of lightning, network. We are now putting all this lightning data onto our Bhuvan portal, and this data is being used by various stakeholders. But from space platform, also in our 4th generation of INSET series of data, we need to put the lightning imagers so that we can combine the ground-based observation as well as the space-based observation to develop a early warning or forecast capability for this lightning related meteorological disasters. So that is one of the key area where we need to focus as far as the near future is concerned. The third part, which I would like to also inform this August gathering, is that I talked about the INSET, the INSET series of sounders, which are basically the IR sounders. They have the limitations in terms of, whenever there are clouds, the soundings cannot be, perfected, or they are not available to us. So to overcome the problems of the infrared part of electromagnetic spectrum, ISRO is developing now the millimeter wave, or basically the microwave domain humidity and temperature sounders. So one of the experimental satellite payload was last year launched in our EOS-07 satellite. Essentially, it's called millimeter wave humidity sounder, or MHS sounders. Dr. Thaplial and his team has extensively utilized this experimental data, and they have found that this sounder, which is operating in the millimeter wave frequencies, is very, very useful in terms of providing very precise and accurate sounding capabilities in the microwave domain, so that we can overcome the limitations of IR region because of the cloud presence. So now, after this successful demonstration of our millimeter waves, sounding capability and design of the sensor, now ISRO is contemplating a full-fledged operational satellite to provide humidity and temperature soundings using the millimeter wave sounders. So that is also a new development which is on the card. And then another very important aspect, which is basically is currently being worked out in ISRO domain or globally, is the use of freely available navigation signals. Or that many of you are using this GPS satellite constellation or Navik series of Indian satellite constellations. Some of these signals are freely available. They can be utilized by putting a GNSS receiver on low Earth orbiting satellites, and so that you can achieve what is known as the GPS or GNSS occultations. So using these radio occultation observations, very precise temperature and humidity estimates in the atmosphere, atmospheric profiles can be estimated with 0.1 degree K temperature accuracy, as well as less than 10% humidity profile accuracies can be obtained by utilizing these freely available navigation signals by putting a GNSS receiver on low Earth orbiting satellites. So one such experimental payload has already been developed at our Space Application Center, and this is going to fly on a next experimental satellite, which is going to be launched probably next month by ISRO. And this GNSS reflectometry and GNSS radio occultation both will be available to our meteorology as well as oceanographic community as a very high and accurate observations which can be assimilated into weather forecast system. So these are some of the new and advanced technological trends in which Indian Space Research Organization, along with the Ministry of Earth Sciences Organization, is currently working. And I am sure that with this kind of augmented capability coming from space platform from India, definitely all our neighboring countries which are there in the Southeast Asia, they will also be getting benefits and fruits of these technologies, essentially through the capacity building programs which we are launching under the ambit of associations like South Asian Meteorological Association, and of course many other initiatives. As I told, I will request SAMA to also contact Director CSST AP. Now, I used to be the director, but now there is a new director, and I can help in contacting them to do more capacity building programs with a established platform of CSST AP, where apart from lectures, hands-on and practicals can also be done for participants, those who are interested to take this subject, and those who are practicing meteorologists in this region, so that their capacity of handling satellite observations into the numerical weather forecast models, and of course assimilating this data, improves significantly. That's what is my request is. And well, last point before I leave, that I can say that apart from these meteorological observations, large amount of surface observations like land use, land cover information, data assimilation techniques, these are also being provided by NRSC, so that this can be assimilated into numerical weather forecast models, so that the forecasting when it comes to the land, ocean, land atmospheric interaction processes is concerned, improves significantly. And the land use, land cover changes, it has been shown significantly. They also alter the physics of the weather models. And we are, every 5 years, we are generating very high resolution land use, land cover data over South Asian region, as well as every year we are producing a coarse resolution information. So that data sets are also very useful for the atmospheric or the meteorological community. With these words, I thank all the organizers of this program, including Professor Someshwar Das ji, Dr. Swagata ji, and others for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and share our thoughts, and to just also share some of the advanced work which is happening in ISRO for future observational systems from space is concerned in the broad field of satellite meteorology and oceanic, ocean observations. Thank you very much, and I wish each one, and especially all the participants, a great future, as well as a great time as far as the the learning and the capacity building in broad field of satellite observation and satellite meteorology is concerned. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Sir, for your very, very praiseworthy words and regional cooperation, collaboration, and how it would be helpful for the all South Asian countries and neighboring countries as well. Thank you, sir, for your praiseworthy words. Now, as per our next agenda, there would be a remarks from the advisory panel. But before that, I would like to request Dr. Someshwar Das sir to present our recent just a minute. Our recent advancement, a recent appreciation letter from the WMO Secretary General, which is received very recently. So now I would like to request our Honorable General Secretary to present the WMO Secretary General appreciation letter to all with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mohan. In fact, we are delighted to share a message from the WMO Secretary General, Professor Celeste Saulo. She has sent us a written letter expressing her appreciation to the South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA, for our remarkable efforts in capacity building and training. This commendation recognizes SAMA's impactful work across 60+ countries in South Asia and among the non-aligned movement member nations. Professor Saulo particularly emphasized the exceptional collaborative initiatives undertaken by SAMA, which have significantly contributed to the advancement of the meteorological understanding and practices in these regions. So we are so delighted to share the message of the Secretary General. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan.
Thank you, sir, for very precisely presenting our appreciation letter for SAMA within a very short time. Now, I'd like to request our honorable advisory panel members to comments on the entire program.
Mohan,
First, I'd like to request Dr. Bhatia, sir.
Photo session.
Sir?
Photo session.
Okay, before that, I would like to request everyone to make a milestone memory. So I think it would be good to switch on your video so you can take a screenshot accordingly. So please be prepared for the photo session.
So, Mahesh ji from NRSC, Baby Shiman sir,
Yeah.
Nasim Muradi sir.
Nasim Muradi, yeah, and many others also. Finmar Hatip from the Myanmar. Everyone is requested to switch on your video. So it is time for photo session now.
Close the set. Yeah.
Ready? Okay, almost everyone. Nasim Muradi, is it possible? Can you hear us? And Mahesh sir, if possible, please switch on your video. And Sumaya, if possible.
Yeah, I'm sure his internet is an issue.
Yeah, thank you, Sumaya. And Hassani Basirio and Mahesh sir, and from Myanmar, Tinmar. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I think it is done. Okay. So photo session is done. Thank you for your cooperation. Now I'd like to request honorable advisory panel members to share their thoughts, suggestions, or whatever in a precisely. So firstly, I'd like to request Honorable Bhatia sir to deliver his comments. Bhatia sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Smeshwar Das and all other members present here for the opportunity to share my comments. This course which we have undertaken and many participants have been benefited as was presented by the feedback report. This has been started based on the feedback given by the participants, some of the member countries, because we first started with a questionnaire, precise questionnaire which we designed and asking people how they are using data from space-based system, what are the problems, and based on the specific suggestions, specific answer which we got, we thought about it and we designed this specific course which participants have undergone. The main thing was initially we found that some countries, they were not having adequate facilities for reception of data, particularly one country, if I am not mistaken, Afghanistan. What they mentioned was that they are receiving data just from NOAA series of satellites. NOAA series, just twice a day, thrice a day, and they don't have access to Meteosat images. So I was surprised to see how this can be done. So during my own talks, I tried to mention how they can access Meteosat data, and I showed specific examples of meteosat images, how it can be used, what is a website, and so on. And I hope after this training, they are now in a position to receive meteosat images. And of course, many of my colleagues from other organizations like SAC, Dr. Sapiyal, Dr. Mitra, and Dr. Srivastav from Indian Remote Sensing Institute, and Dr. Simon, they have helped to, and many others, I'm not mentioning everybody's name, they have helped to design the course. They have come forward to give talks, and many people have done their best to make the course a success. One thing which I would like to mention is that we could not have interactive sessions as strong as we wanted to be, because if we have interaction with the trainees, then we can know, suppose I have given some exercise, what answer they have found or how useful they have found the exercise. I didn't have opportunity to talk to them, even though I requested for their feedback, but I didn't get much information. So I hope in the next course, as and when we organize, we will improve upon these things. Interactive session is very important. Exercises which trainees should do themselves, and then have interaction with the lecturers. Then that gives rise to better understanding of the subject, so that when they go back home, they are in a better position to use data. But even then, I hope during this training course, people have been benefited, and that is there is a proof that a lot of useful experience they have got, a lot of good information has been received by them. So with these few words, I am requesting other panel members to give their comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. R.C. Bhatia, sir, for your valuable comments. Now I'd like to request Professor U.C. Mohanty, sir, for his insightful thoughts and comments. Sir, could you please unmute?
Very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mohan Kumar Das, and my esteemed friends and colleagues, Professor Kipper, Professor Saji, Professor Sameshwar Das, Professor Bhatia, and many others you are here. So this shows the interest of all to share the knowledge. And as I tell always in my class, by sharing the knowledge, we learn more than what we learn from the textbooks. So also the lectures, to read from books and hear from the eminent persons, teachers, is always far, far better. There's no comparison. It cannot be replaced by the textbooks alone. So it is good that many are interested and many have joined and few have given the exam. And this is very vibrant things. And I think all the lectures should be available in YouTube, as much available. Those who could not fully utilize or fully participate in the entire course, they can utilize that, because to get such opportunity to get such eminent people in any specific area, and it will be not end with this series, and it should used by many others. So I think Dr. Swagat, you will and for Lakshmi Kumar, you can try to see that you have already created a live recording and YouTube of this series and many other series you have all completed, and few others are coming, so that the material can be available to those who could not attend, and they can utilize it, and also give the details of the resource persons as far as possible, so that some of them can directly or through email, and so they can contact, because it may not be always possible to understand everything in a classroom. But if they go through that and hear once or twice and so on, and they have specific queries and specific things they want to acquire, they can contact the relevant experts. And I think that will be very much useful. And I feel like few others arrange, and I think this is a landmark activity and progress of the SAMA to enhance the knowledge of the interested people from this region, and it's very much welcome. And I congratulate all of them, and also thank to all of the resource persons who have spent so much time to prepare such nice material and presented before the our participants. And with this, actually, I don't want to give very big comments and suggestions, but I feel that it is a very good program. It should continue and extend to all other areas, and so that the knowledge can be spread and utilized, because weather and climate is a science, it is science of the people. Because everybody, I always tell, starting from palace of a king or a president to that of the regular industry, he needs the weather and climate information. And therefore, we have a greater responsibility to spread it as much as possible. And those who are hearing or attending, they can spread it further, so that the knowledge can go to each and every person of the region. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable A.C. Mohanty sir, for your very valuable and insightful comments. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. R.R. Kelkar sir for his very prominent comments. Sir, please.
Thank you. It's good to be talking to many people. And in fact, I was one of the first speakers to start this whole series, and it's good that the whole series has come to a successful end. Anything that begins well also ends well. And we had a very good overview from Dr. Chauhan about the entire scenario. One of the things which I would like to mention here, that SAMA, although it's a very good organization, it has a lot of limitations. First of all, it is unofficial. It doesn't have any government support. This is, I think we should realize that. So whatever is being done by people on their own enthusiasm. The second thing is SAMA doesn't launch satellites. SAMA doesn't receive satellite data. SAMA doesn't have infrastructure. SAMA can at the most conduct lecture series and teach. So this is what we have been doing. But what we are not able to do is to provide data to people. For example, if a satellite is passing over a South Asian country, we can't help them to get the data down. So I think we should realize what we can do, and we should go ahead with what we can do. At the same time, what we cannot do also is something that we should know. Like there are, Dr. Chauhan talked about microwave. And initially, when ISRO launched its first 3 satellites, Aryabhata, Bhaskara, and Apple, they were microwave satellites. But after that, we just forgot microwave. And it is high time that we bring in microwave back into our science space programs. This is one. The second thing is our initial satellites were polar orbiting, like Bhaskara and other things. Even our land resources satellites were polar orbiting. But we don't have any polar orbiting meteorological satellites. People still have to go to NOAA and other countries to receive them. Also, there are many things which we would like to do. For example, the entire success of forecasting nowadays comes from the assimilation of satellite data. Most of the improvement that we see now, that we can give 5-day forecast, 7-day forecast, or even 1 or 2-day forecast, is basically because of the real-time assimilation of 4D data. And in fact, data goes into it. So SAMA doesn't come anywhere into this. What I would suggest is that the success of this series of lectures and the feedback that we have got from people, I think somebody like Dr. Chauhan or Dr. Tyagi can make a presentation before chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization. This is what the South Asian countries and 59 other countries have expressed their interest in. And ISRO may not even be aware of what these 59 countries are doing and what they are expecting. So something like an interactive session or a physical session of people who have organized a satellite meteorology program can make I think, a presentation with specific requests that this is what is required to be done. I mean, if in Afghanistan or some other country, they can't even get inside data, but what can we be doing to help them do that? So the infrastructure has to be provided not by SAMA, but by somebody else. So either the IMD or ISRO or the Ministry of Earth Sciences or any organization which has the capability of doing things physically, I think has to be approached. Otherwise, we'll remain like a teaching institute and teach somebody, and then that's the end of it. So after having talked with people and interacted with them and got their information back, we should use it and let people who are in authority to make plans for the future and see that we get more from these neighboring countries. Because I don't think any other country in South Asia is launching its own satellites except India. You have to accept that truth. So it has to be done primarily by the Indian Space Research Organization and also by the India Department. And we should make some plans for getting that done. So this is something I would like to say. Otherwise, teaching is a good thing. It's a good profession. At the most, later on, you can convert the notes into a book. There are very few books on satellite meteorology even available right now. I mean, if you give Amazon, if you give a book search for satellite meteorology, most of you will turn up with a book written by R.R. Kelkar. Even now, not many people are writing books on that. So we can even write books which are of the latest technology and things like that. So basically, SAMA is restricted to teaching and writing. Beyond that, we have to go to somebody else and tell them to carry on. That's what I think we should do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, respected Professor Dr. R.R. Kelkar, sir, who is also the writer of the Satellite Meteorology book. Thank you, sir, for your very insightful comments. Now, I'd like to request Dr. Baby Simon, sir, for his valuable comments. Sir, unmute, please.
Good evening, all the panelists, and especially I should say our chief guest, Prakash Chauhan, gave a very nice lecture on the future of the satellite meteorology also. I'm very happy about that. Anyhow, we have designed this course with as Bhatia Saab as the chairman, and we could complete it, and at least 20 classes we were able to give. And coming to the this particular, especially satellite meteorology course or this class of SAMA, we initially from ISRO we had earlier planned such kind of thing of remote sensing, satellite meteorology, satellite communication. We do undergo a 9-month course where the first 3 months we take this basic meteorology, and then 3 months we take the retrievals, and another 3 months, as Dr. Bhatia Saab told, an interactive session whereby we had a training session on with the actual data. And these people, once they train, especially normally we teach almost 20 people in the satellite meteorology course. So they go back to their country and they teach the entire, for example, we are having people from all Bangladesh, Myanmar, Indonesia, Afghanistan, even Iran also. So now this thing is partially taken care of, as Dr. Kelkar Saab has told. This ISRO has conducted this kind of course, but that is not sufficient, especially with the vagaries of this monsoon and other cloudiness. As Dr. Prakash Chauhan told, we should have this hyperspectral sounder, then winds from water vapor imagery based water vapor. That means basically the GIF type of thing, 3-dimensional wind field, not only over the ocean, but over the land also. Then most important thing we are facing is lightning conductor. A lot of people die. So that kind of training is also very essential. And we are going to have a geostationary satellite whereby that particular 700 nanometer, we are going to have lightning detection from that geostationary platform. And also I am very happy to that lecture given by Chauhan, that the microwave part, the millimeter that is required, because our entire South Asia, especially this region, is covered by cloudiness. So that kind of initiative ISRO is planning also. I'm very happy to hear from him. And also I should say, as Dr. our Bhatia Saab told, an interactive training, even though if it is a lecture mode, an interactive training will be helpful, because all these things, nitty-gritty comes when you go to the real, utilizing data of satellite data, retrieval and other parameters in the actual modeling. So that kind of a simulation is required. So that is not possible by simple lecture, but by practice, whether you put it for 4 days forecast or 2 days forecast, 4 days forecast or 8 days forecast. So at least this is an initial beginning we are given by this. SAMA has given this, trained so many people from all across South Asia region, which is having a lot of disasters like cyclogenesis and all, as told by the earlier speakers. So I'll be happy that such kind of initiative is again repeated in future, maybe because satellite meteorology is an evolving subject. So it is not that one lecture, one time, it will not be sufficient. We should have a complete backup for the future also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, Dr. Baby Simon, sir. So with this, we would like to hand off the advisory.
What about
Sir,
some of the EC members, have you taken their comments? Nasim Muradi from
yes, sir. If anyone interested, please feel free to give your valuable thoughts. Any executive committee members or anyone who is available in the panel.
Yeah, advisory panel members or the
Nasim Muradi, are you able to give your impression?
Thank you so
Please.
much, Dr. Das. Thank you so much for organizing the meeting. I would like to thanks from SAMA members, countries, and especially from director SAMA and their members country. Actually, SAMA conduct more training and capacity building for South Asian countries, especially for Afghanistan. It is useful for our departments. In 2030, they organize more capacity building. I hope SAMA organize more capacity building in 2040 for South Asian countries, especially for Afghanistan. It is important for our departments. I request it is better to conduct capacity building face-to-face for Afghanistan. It is suggestion from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nasim Muradi, for your opinion. And any others? Anyone interested? I think, sir, already everyone covered, right, sir?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we need to move also.
Actually, we are a bit running out of time. So thank you all, honorable advisory panel members, for your very praiseworthy comments and inspiration. Now it is time to directly hear from the qualifiers of the lecture series. Their opinion is very much important. Their feedback is also important. In this content, I would like to request Sumaya from Bangladesh to share her opinion. Sumaya, please.
Hello, I'm Sumaya Akhtar, DS third year from Department of Meteorology, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. I'm really grateful to have a chance this type of valuable course from intelligence and experts pupils to know about satellite meteorology in depth. This was very valuable for me to understand the atmospheric science behind the atmosphere and the satellite data and the applications of satellite data in the field of meteorology. This was very interesting for me. This course, some people appreciate me to attend this course. Dr. Mohan sir and Dr. Professor Tauhida Rashid and Fatima Akhtar all are very helpful for me in this course. And I like to thank SAMA and the organizers and SAMA for this type of course. And I like to appreciate SAMA to furthermore to create this type of course again and again, so that I can enhance my knowledge from this field. Thank you.
So I would like to mention that Shumia got the second highest number. After first, there are few toppers, few second highest. The Shumia second highest, and the third highest in Nigeria.
See the MSc student or BSc student?
BSc, sir. BSc, sir. Yes.
Oh,
Congratulations, Sumaya Akhtar.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And the third highest was from outside the South Asia, Isa Ali Goba. He can pronounce his name. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Swagata, you can contact this this part.
I think these
please.
two only. Yeah. So
yeah, sure.
So, Mr. Isha, you introduce yourself and how did you like this course? So, if you have any word.
Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on the time you are listening to this. As we come to the close of this online series on satellite meteorology, organized by South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA, and Bila Institute of Technology, BIT, I'm honored to share my reflection on the invaluable knowledge and insight gained through this journey. The topic covered in this series have been nothing short of enlightening, providing a comprehensive overview of the fundamental principle, application, and advancement in satellite meteorology, from the introduction on remote salvation of geophysical product. Each session has deepened my understanding of the role of satellite in weather forecasting and research, particularly while the session on cloud classification and analysis, the capabilities of Indian geostationary satellite, and the application of satellite data for mesoscale system studies and climate services. This topic not only expanded my knowledge, but also inspired me to explore new avenues and possibilities in the field of meteorology. Furthermore, the emphasis on real-time applications such as analysis of tropical cyclone and the use of rapid scan image from inside 3DR showcase practical relevance and impact of satellite data in meteorological forecasting and disaster management. Overall, I'm immensely grateful for the opportunity to have participated in this online series. The expertise of the speakers, the depth of the content, and the interactive learning environment have made this experience truly enriching and fulfilling. I'm confident that the knowledge and skill acquired through this series will serve as a solid foundation for my future endeavor in the field of satellite meteorology. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to SAMA, BIT, and all the organizers and the speaker for their dedication and commitment to advancing understanding of satellite meteorology. I look forward to applying the insight gained from this series to contribute meaningfully to the fields and make positive impact on our communities and society as whole. I'm very grateful. I learned a lot, and the lecture is highly interesting. Is insightful, full of knowledge. Thank you very much, Sama and the BIT. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot, Isha. I think there are no more students. I didn't see anyone.
From which country? Isa is from which country?
He's from Nigeria.
Nigeria. And what do you do, Isa? Are you a professional or a student?
Isha, are you there?
Okay, yes, I'm here. Sorry, I would have started by introducing myself. My name is Isa Ali Ngoma, Isa Ali Ngoba from Nigeria, West Africa. I'm aeronautical meteorological forecaster. I'm working with a Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority here in Nigeria, Kaduna.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there is one Susmita Behera who raised her hand for a long. If it is an accident or not, I don't know. So if she wants to speak, we are allowing her. We are allowing her.
Switch on your video also, Susmita. You can switch on your video.
Sushmita Vera, I already allow you to talk. Are you interested to talk? Give your impression, or any students from the attendee list? If anyone interested to speak, please raise your hand, so we can allow you to give hear your speech. Anyone?
Yeah, no one. Yeah, there is one. Fauzia Anjum
Itu.
Yeah.
Okay. Itu, please.
Switch on your video, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you switch on your video?
We are getting you.
Yes, Itu, we can hear you. Yeah, please switch on your video and speak, please.
Sorry, sir, I cannot switch on my video. Actually, I'm spending my Eid vacation outside. But just I would
Okay.
like to say something on the course. So thank you, everyone. I'm so happy and grateful to all for the online lecture series on satellite meteorology. So it was very incredible and informative. I learned a lot. So this is like actually my Thanksgiving message or Thanksgiving like opinion to all. I would like to say congratulate everyone who have secured good marks and also have showed excellence on the course in the exam. Thank you all. This is a short Thanksgiving message from me.
Itu, are you a student of BSc or MSc?
Oh, actually, I'm a third year BA student from Department of Meteorology, University of Dhaka.
Okay, BSc student. Good, very good.
Yes, I'm student from the first batch.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir. Also, she is one of the co-organizer of the WM Day celebration from Bangladesh.
I see. So very active student
Yes, sir.
member. Good.
Right, sir.
So there are no one.
So
we can move ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We really respect your hard work, and it is really very praiseworthy for all of us because you enjoyed the course and you learned a lot and you give your best dedication. So as we proceed with our program, I would like to take a moment to capture. It is time to honor the hard work and dedication of our participants. I invite Dr. Dibya Prakash from the Purnima University, Jaipur, India, and he is also the executive coordination team member of SAMA to release the link of the certificate. Dr. Dibya Prakash, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, one and all present here. First of all, now it's time to reveal the hard work and commitment of participant who has done very hard from last 4 or 5 months, and now it's time to reveal the certificate. So we are giving about 400 certificate to participant on the basis of attendance, and more than about 260 certificate for achievers who has secured graded certificate to 259 participant who has secured an excellent, outstanding, like very good and good graded certificate. So now it's time to reveal the link. So now I am just sharing my screen. Just sharing. These are the link, and it is visible to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am just sharing that link on your on chat. So there is a Google folder. You can search your name in a Excel sheet. This is Excel sheet is in the folder. You can search your name. So after searching your name, you will get the serial number, and if you are eligible to get the certificate, your name is in that list. So you will download the certificate from that list. There are two different type of certificate. One is certification of certificate of participation, and certificate of achievement. So just showing the one certificate. This is the certificate, like this is certificate of achievement. So we have awarded 259 certificate to the participant who has secured the grades in the evaluation test. So just sharing.
Actually, she is the topper, but she couldn't connect in the internet. So yeah,
So there are different number. So and another is certificate of participation. So this is, so there are about 400 certificate in this folder. So there is a Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, you will find your name, and if your name is there, then you can download your certificate. Just sharing the link.
Okay.
Okay, done.
Yes, it has been.
It is all right.
Diba, it has been done, no?
Yeah, it is. It has been done.
Okay. Thank you, Dibra Prakash, for facilitating the certificate distribution procedure. And you already shared the link. We are almost end of the program. So it is time to express gratitude who are the behind the scene and front line of the scene to make the program very successful. Now I'd like to request Dr. Mili Ghosh Nilala, who is the Associate Professor Remote Sensing of BIT Mesra and life member of SAMA. Now I'd like to request Dr. Mili Ghosh to provide the vote of thanks. Mili, please.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sharing the screen.
I already shared. Is it all right?
Okay, no, also.
Yeah.
Distinguished chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chan sir, esteemed advisory committee member, participant, and esteemed guests. As we conclude this enriching journey of knowledge and collaboration through remarkable weekly online lecture series on satellite meteorology, on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for your invaluable contributions to the success of this wonderful lecture series. Firstly, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan sir, Director NRSC, for his gracious presence besides his busy schedule and for generously sharing his valuable insights about ISRO future plans. My deepest thanks goes to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Indrajit Manna sir, for giving permission for this lecture series, and Dr. C. Jagannathan sir, DRI, for his encouraging words. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. M.P. Punia, BIT Jaipur Center, for extending help for Zoom platform, the base for this lecture series. My deepest appreciation goes to Dr. Sumeshwar Das sir, Secretary of SAMA, and to ABM retired Professor Ajit Tyagishar, President of SAMA, for their gracious presence without any mess throughout this lecture series and for their guidance for each and every minor detail which led to the success of this lecture series. Actually, you both are, sir, two strong pillars of SAMA. I would like to thank all the resource persons who delivered wonderful lectures enriching our understanding of the subject. Special thanks goes to Dr. Swagata Paira, convener of the event, basically the event manager and treasurer of SAMA also. And also Dr. Lakshmi Kumar, Joint Secretary of SAMA India Chapter, for their contribution in organizing this lecture series. and meticulously reporting and summarization of participants' feedback for today's session. Next slide, please. Yeah, my gratitude extends to Dr. Mohan Kumar Das, Executive Director of NAOMI and Joint Secretary of SAMA, for his unconditional support throughout this lecture series and skillful moderation of various sessions, including today's session. His invaluable guidance made this event a success. My gratitude extends to Dr. Rohini Bhavar, SPPU Pune, Savitribai Phule University, Pune, and ECT member of SAMA for her contribution with varied roles throughout this lecture series, and for the eloquent introduction of our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan sir, into this session. My heartfelt thanks goes to Dr. Deepakas, Purnima University, Jaipur, India, and ECT member of SAMA for his hard work and dedication to make this entire lecture series a grand success, and for facilitating the seamless release of certificate link, marking a significant milestone in this journey. I also thank Dr. Paulami Chakravarti, Dr. Akhilesh Mesra, and all other members of advisory panel whose name could not be mentioned for their contribution in organizing this lecture series. Finally, we express our heartfelt thanks to all the participants and attendees who joined us from across the globe. Your presence and active participation played a key role for the success of this lecture series and added immense value to this occasion. Last but not the least, I thank our scholars Sivalika, Asmita, and Ananya for their constant support and readiness to help us on a regular basis. As we conclude, let us carry forward the knowledge and inspiration gained from this lecture series, forging ahead our understanding of satellite meteorology and its profound impact on our world. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mili Ghosh Nilala, for your nicely contribute the vote of thanks. And with this, I would like to conclude the session here, and all of your unwavering support make the program very successful. We are coming with our next